Aloha, friends and neighbors. Roy Frost here. Woo, what a rusty voice I got. Neighbors are digging up the yard. This is program 1117. We're going to cover the first week in May in the Sky Mirror. And what a time we're having. Wow. I mean, I started off looking at this Sky Mirror chart, kind of innocent, and the further I got into it, the more scary it got. So we're going to spend a lot of time on warning you of the difficulties. And there will be difficulties. I was thinking about history and remembering that the pirates were actually commissioned by the English, the British. You know, there used to be a thing, mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the noonday sun. And I think about the history of the English, and basically they're colonial types that go someplace and rip off the locals and rip off nature. I remember it, it took 400 or 500 years in the fur trade for licensed companies, licensed by the monarchy in North America, to take the beaver and all the nice furs. The fur trade, went on for 500 years to the profit of the monarchs, and they wiped out a lot of beautiful animals. Well, anyway, we come from rip-off roots. That's my point. The British roots, this whole culture of the English, basically are people that feel they can be superior to everybody else, and it's okay to have slaves, and it's okay to go and exploit the resources on somebody else's property. And we're still doing it. Now we got Trump, Mars rising, which brings me to the chart of what's going on here. Look at this. We got Saturn stopped April 18th, Pluto stopped April 22nd, and Mars went by the whole mess. Now Saturn is the bad guy, the cross of matter over the crescent of flesh. Here's the politician, the banker, the CEO. He doesn't care about people and emotions and the flesh of the earth. He cares about money and gold and silver. His name is Scrooge. He can be a really bad guy. Here come the judge. Yeah, give me money or you go to jail. Pluto, he can go either way. Scorpio. He's got high ideals, but he could easily be turned like the police and the military are in our country over to bad guys. We got the SS, we got the Gestapo, and we call them FBI and CIA and local cops. And they look, they're armed with automatic weapons. What's going on here? Marvin Gaye's song, Mercy, Mercy Me. Or the old hippie song, there's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. Well, Mars just went through this whole thing. He's still right on Pluto. See, Mars going from 21 to 26 Capricorn. Pluto's at 21 Capricorn. So Pluto, he's the investigator. He's also the SS officer and, the executioner. And so we don't know. He'll go both ways. But Saturn's kind of close. And he could be a toy of the bad guy if he's not careful. Mars, the original Mars, is the cross of matter over the circle of spirit. Mars is a little malefic. It's easy to pay Mars off and get him to go to war and chop people up. So this is not an easy time. And if you have some feelings like that inside, it's because everybody is. And that's why, the young 23-year-old guy goes and bombs everybody willy-nilly, or people go awry and anyway, you're going to see road rage and what they call terrorists now. The government trying to protect its rear. Whew, shameful. Anyway, what I want to do is show you how this varies day by day. So we're going to run the moon around the edge of these planetary patterns, and it'll give us the mood of the times. It's not your chart now. Here's the chart. Here's Saturn and Pluto. Ugh, bad dudes. Mercury kind of stumbled into this whole thing. The kids, And let's see, I guess I should give you some upfront stuff first. Mars comes along and hits 26 Capricorn. Now that squares the last new moon at 26 Aries. It's a real sensitive place because of that new moon at 26 Aries was right on the planet Uranus. So here comes Mars, and bang, he hits. Uranus is kind of a lunatic already. You know, here's the socialist communist. Here's somebody, but here's a union guy. You know, and they got out the soldiers, and here we are at the university, and the National Guard is shooting down soldiers, or students, or whatever. There's undue violence here, and it's done by Mars, the young guys. You can get a young guy in his teens and early 20s to almost anything. When they hit 35, a little part of the brain matures. They get ethics, and they don't make good killers. But by the time they get there, if they've been through the Army, and they're paying them a lot now to get into the Army and become this, these guys don't know what's going to happen to them. I'm a decorated Vietnam War veteran, man. You don't go through the military without getting ruined. Find yourself doing things that, no, not me. Well, this whole thing is, I guess I'm really down on this because I've seen too much. I've just seen so much in my life that, and I don't see much of it changing when there's people like Mr. Trump and all of these greedy Saturn Mars people. He's talking about taking away Social Security funds a bit and, to pay the military. Oh, yeah. We got a professional standing army. Horrible. Just waiting for a chance to go fight and mess somebody up. So you could have, Friday here on the 27th, okay? Moon's in Libra. Now, you had a pretty good Thursday night. Let's get down to details. If we're on the Thursday night show, you're probably sitting there content with some sweets and sex and feeling pretty mellow. Moon went into Libra, trine Venus. Beware, as you go into Friday the 27th, here's poor Mercury. And Mercury is at 11 degrees, and he's hitting the full moon point. He's opposing the full moon. And that's squaring Saturn. And this is really dangerous for kids. Any of the little guys that run around a lot and make noise. That's Mercury's. Delivery. Dangerous time to be out delivering. Or even talking. All the small people. This includes birds and pets and dogs and cats. And things of transportation and communication. Messengers. Mercury. He's in trouble. And one of the reasons is the moon came by here. The moon is the ladies in the public and opposed Mercury. And the lady didn't like what the kids said. And it became judgmental and lunatic-like. Yeah, shut up, she said. Uh-oh, that's what Friday's like. It's dangerous. What are you saying to that kid? The younger the kid is, the more traumatic the words. One sentence sometimes can ruin a kid forever. Scientology proved that. In this life, forever. For long periods. Words are traumatic. Do you believe in those movies and the things on TV that you see? A bunch of words, they're written by somebody just for you to hear. Nothing spontaneous about those words. Those are actors. They're pretending. Do you believe in the movies and TV? Do you not know there's a guy behind the camera that set it all up, all the words, all the acting, everything he's presenting to you? You could be suspicious if it was a newspaper, but I think probably with the movies and the TV and the media, you're not. And look at the drug companies. Every commercial on TV now, a third of the time on commercial television is drug commercials. Do you question any of this? Yeah, you believe in it? Look out. I find my old beliefs are being destroyed right and left, and it's not comfortable to have to change your attitude, the way you treat kids in this country. Okay, Friday, difficult day. Stay home, keep your mouth shut. Truth. Here's Saturday, moon's still in Libra, you're going to feel all that stuff. And here's the square to Pluto, and Mars is on Pluto. That's Saturday morning. Here's total violence. Here's some guys that decided, what the hell, if I'm going to go out, I want to kill a whole bunch of people with me. So here's bad news and arguments and whoosh, here's total violence to extremes, explosions, bombs. Saturday morning, not a good time. Hope you had fun Thursday night. Stay home Friday and Saturday, into the late hours of Saturday even. Here's the moon opposing Uranus. Yeah, we had a full moon there. A new moon, here it is. This is Saturday around dinner time, and the moon opposes the new moon point. More lunatic stuff. Power goes out. Can't trust anybody. Lack of brotherhood. Forgot your science. Forgot common sense. Killed all those homeless people. It must have been them bombed us. Jeez, look out. Late Saturday, the moon shifts into Scorpio. It's a little more balanced and a little more sane. Wish it were more. Clicks in mostly around lunchtime when the moon sextiles Saturn. Can you really trust Saturn, huh? You trust the CEO? The guys in those dark suits look like penguins. Yup, just follow the leader and do what he says. Saturn is regimented. You learn that Saturn in the Army, officers and how they regiment and orders. You know what marching is? Mindless obeyance. They got to teach you to obey without thinking. And that's what they do, and they beat you to hell if you don't kowtow right away. I went through it. Terrible. Saturn, he's the general, here's the judge. If you like him Sunday, okay, well, go vote for the Trumpites. And I hope you get what you deserved. Here's the opposite. This is a full moon day, by the way. Here's a full moon Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. And it likes Saturn, okay? Well, somebody has to be the organizer and the boss. Not necessarily. The age of kings is over. Authority. What did Ben say? When justice fled the earth, the laws came in her stead. If justice came back, the law books they'd burn and lawyers and judges would run. Justice is not part of our system of laws. Sorry. Full moon day. Maybe anybody ever change those laws? Anybody ever lower the speed limit? Take away bad lines and signs and laws? Well, you have a chance to ponder it for the month following this full moon. On Monday, everything breaks loose in aha! What was that? Suddenly the moon goes by Jupiter. Happens all day Monday, but especially in the morning, in the middle of the day. And it sextiles Pluto. There's discovery. Hey, that policeman came out and told the truth. The investigator, the FBI guys, they didn't like their ethics being compromised for money, for politics. They're honorable Sherlock Holmes dudes. There's a bunch of them out there. There's a lot of good cops, a lot of good investigators, a lot of good researchers. But too many are paid by corporations and the government. Can't step out of line. Have to shut your mouth. Don't tell everybody. Oh boy. Sextile to Mars, Monday afternoon. How much of a hero are you? Are you going to speak out? Monday is the time to decide. What side are you on? Are you going to support environmentalists or capitalists who rape and pillage the land and the species and our air and our water? Well, that's what's been going on here. I got a note to myself over here. Corporations plus government equals fascism. Just like any place. Yeah, you get corporations, all they want's money. And government, oh yeah, we got the power. And what they'll do is rip off the environment. They'll take away the commons. They'll sell off your oil, your land, your air, to enrich themselves, the corporations and the government dudes. That fascism is in our country. It's in the British, in our roots. It's the cause of global warming. Yes, we're the pigs that did it. The world's going to figure that out after a while. Global warming is caused by corporate government pollution. You get that. And also cancer. Cancer is a civilized disease. It's your government and corporations that give you cancer. Doctors never, oh, why did you get cancer? They never ask. A lot of truth's going to come out Monday. I hope you gulp it down and remember and start acting. Tuesday, moon's in Sagittarius. Not much rest Tuesday night. The moon squares Venus. Wednesday, the moon's still in Sagittarius. In the morning, it trines Mercury. You can talk, but it's confusing. And there's a lot of suspicious lying and deceit because of the square from Neptune. So even if you speak out, people won't, well, you must say right, they'll hear left. Look out. Wednesday morning, tough on driving. Thursday, moon still in Sag all the way through till early afternoon. There's a nice trine to Uranus, the technical stuff, the brotherhood. Common sense comes out a bit Thursday. Is this a whistleblower, an environmentalist? Chase him out. Find out who he is. Assign the FBI to get the leak. Well, you're going into the tough time. Here's the moon going into Capricorn Thursday afternoon, and you're going to start feeling the fear and the grinding. Saturn grinds slow. And here's Pluto. Now the Saturn stuff is going to come up by and large on Friday. And you can see from my mistakes here what a difficult time this is, and hard to talk to you about it too. So I don't like delivering. Is this bad news? Well, it's certainly a time you could get stuck, frozen, and you can get into a lot of trouble here. There could be mudslides, landslides, ice breaking, all sorts of confusion over the rules and regulations, and the judge is up to be impeached by the other judges. I doubt that. Well, assign judges for life? That's all the reason Trump got elected, is to put judges on the Supreme Court, remember? The American public has a short memory and don't study history. It's too bad. Well, it's good for these politicians. They grab the power, spend the money, and go off with their pockets full. You're going to see a lot of that here. Starting Friday, you might decide to do something late Friday night, early Saturday morning. There is a trine to the sun. What could I do? Think globally, act locally. That's what you do. But beware, don't act now, because Saturday, May 5th, that's a really bad day full of violence and road rage. And Mars is there with Pluto, and he can get totally out of hand. Watch the sports guys. Whatever sport they're playing, these are the young men full of testosterone. And they will go to extremes. And there'll be violence on the basketball courts and the football courts and the schools. And schools are Mercury. You're going to watch out. Don't send your kid to school on April 27th. Stuff will happen there. And probably a good idea to keep them back also on the 4th of May. But the 5th, is there sirens there? What is that? Well, sometimes you don't hear it until Sunday night or Sunday morning. All the violence and these guys get hot, and then they take a few while to go plant the bomb or get their guns or make the plan. But here it is, and early Sunday morning, there's a square to Uranus. Your cell phones go off. There's fires, there's fights, there's violence. You're not going to sleep very well Sunday night or Saturday night, Sunday morning. Be ready for emergencies. That's what it's about on Sunday morning, the 6th. Yep. Well, there's another note to myself. Mercury opposes new moon square Saturn. That's pretty bad. The moon hits it Friday. Not a drill, I said. This is especially true for kids. And that goes on, on May 5th. Is that Cinco de Mayo? Oh, man. It's supposed to be a happy day of revolution. Oh, well. It's better to know if the earth is going to jump around and get ticked off. Maybe there's some good in this. Maybe you're going to see so much evil, you'll decide to go out and help. You either do that or you go hide out. I feel like Buddha, there's so much evil and greed and violence in the world, especially in America. You know, it's hard to breathe almost. Pretty sad. Bringing you down, huh? There's got to be a lesson in it someplace. I'm sure some of you guys can find it. Takes me a while. I might have to have a couple of drinks and a bowl and a day or two to get out of this. Eek!